This week on Hazardous Materials, last week's comics this week, we dissect death metal, let the leader lead, and embrace the Empyre.
Warning. The following podcast is utter nonsense and may cause agoraphobia, kleptomania, insomnia, and oppositional defiance disorder. We are required by law to provide you with this disclaimer for Hazardous Materials.
Welcome back to Hazardous Materials, last week's comics this week, wherein we do talk about last week's comics this week.
And then throw some multimedia news at the end just to keep things spicy. And oh boy, we have only one piece of multimedia news this week, but it's a good one.
Only one. My name's Casey Johnson. With me as always,
Gideon Gonzalez. So our first title this week, you did not read.
I didn't.
And I read it last week. I am referring to Dark Knight's Death Metal #1 by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, which if you can't tell from the tone of my voice, I didn't much care for.
Yeah, see, when I didn't read it, that was on purpose.
So I should preface this by saying I'm so exhausted by DC continuity fixing comics because they never work. And this feels like the third or fourth one in like 2 years. Yeah. There was Convergence, famously awful. There was Rebirth, which was nice.
Because of Wally.
Yeah, but even then, Rebirth kind of feeds into what a general problem I've had with DC since Rebirth started, where it's all just carrot on a stick storytelling that never delivers. It's constantly promising you're going to get the JSA back. You're going to get Shazam back. You're going to get the Atom back, but you have to wait. It's very important. You'll see how it ties into this epic story we're telling, except that we're just going to do it anyway and make you wait 2.5 years to read a terrible comic, Doomsday Clock. Which, again, in Doomsday Clock, it's just setting up more bull. That's the really frustrating thing, is all of these events, they're not satisfying on their own. They're just a way to get you to spend your $4 or $5 a month for 7 months straight and then be like, make sure you buy the next big event. You might get that thing you want in it.
And you heard it from here. DC's comics are extremely frustrating.
Like, just good Lord.
At least their event storytelling. Their event storytelling just feels like a train wreck.
They haven't
filled with orphans on fire, being hosed down by untrained nuns.
I think the only 2 events I've enjoyed in the past 12 years. Okay, well, we'll be 3 events. Final Crisis, Blackest Night, and Forever Evil. It's kind of it. Because what else you got?
The first 2, and I'm going to put Rebirth in there because I got the itch scratched that I needed to be scratched.
Rebirth, it was...
Now, granted, that was probably a carrot dropping because...
Exactly. It's given you just enough to keep you coming back for more. And
here's Wally.
I hate that.
1 year later, by the way, Wally just killed people.
Yeah, here's Wally. We'll give him 6-issue focus arc in Titans, and then just string you along for another couple of years before we make him Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, he killed people. Oh, now he's redeemed and he's got his family back. But now he's Dr. Manhattan, so he doesn't care.
Yeah. So I guess I should actually talk about the book and not the general, not the malaise that surrounds the book and kind of defines it. So
or the fact that their editor-in-chief hated Wally West the entire time.
I loved that interview where he talked about how he just played up the Dick and Wally hate because he's like, just give me some cheap heat. Like he's a wrestling promoter. I loved that. Like seeing Dan DiDio through the lens of, oh my God, I'm totally blanking on his name now, but Paul Heyman.
Oh,
seeing him through the lens of Paul Heyman made his era make so much more sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Of just this crazy hype man.
He was a hype man. I mean, all the videos I saw of him, he always had like two extra notches of energy that he really needed to have.
Yeah. So Dark Knight's Death Metal opens essentially not a flash forward, but basically the Dark Knights have taken over the world, and you've got I'm trying to remember what the names were. There's Metropocalypse and there's a big old Gotham one, and the world, it's a big old continent shaped like a bat, of course. Batman Who Laughs gets killed, so that's nice.
Well, that's finally happened. I thought this whole blackest night or darkest whatever metal thing was done. They did their series and it was done. Why does it keep coming back?
Because people loved it, and they love Batman Who Laughs. And again, this is going back to that. Dark Knight's metal was just a carrot to get you to buy Scott Snyder's Justice League, which was all just a carrot to get you to buy this book. And Doomsday Clock, well, probably not originally intended, but in all the massive rewrites it had to go through in the back end, just became another carrot for this book.
Do you know that Batman Who Laughs is a costume that the Joker can wear in Mortal Kombat 11?
Yeah, I know, and that actually kind of tracks. I'm like, that's fine. That's a good place for the Batman Who Laughs. I'm sick of seeing him in every damn book. I want him dead already. To Snyder's credit, he does have a bit where the Batman Who Laughs is like, I bet you're all getting tired of seeing me. And I was like, hell yeah, I am.
And so meta.
Wonder Woman chops him up with the invisible chainsaw, which I was like,
wait a minute. Did you just make that up, or is that a real thing?
That happened.
That's a real thing. Does she store that on the jet?
I know.
Is there an invisible train?
No, she just has the invisible chainsaw. And the books are exhausting. I like silly fun stuff.
Who doesn't?
But there's no substance to it. It's all just dumb thrown at you. And this is the biggest dumb thrown at you. So there's a 2-page spread where Dr. whatever we're calling Wally now, Dr. Manhattan, Blue Wally, whatever. So Dr. Manwally gives an explanation of how the DC universe really works, because this has gone so well the 5 times they've tried it in the past 30 years. And it comes down to that the DC universe is powered by the power of friendship, essentially. And that whatever was her name, Promethea or whatever, the evil goddess that they're fighting is not Promethea. What is her name? I don't care. I'm
going to go on the record as saying that I truly enjoy exasperated Gideon.
I try not to be
so rare.
I try not to be negative. I really
try to
want
be
to
the
make
shining light of this show, and I'm usually the person that's going, God, I hate everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you lose it, it's just grand. I just have to sit back and watch.
So the entropy goddess created the DC universe out of negative energy and bad time, what they call crisis energy, because of course they do.
Of course they do.
And the forces of doom. And then the other people who made universes were like, hey, that's messed up. We'll make it with the good feel energy, and we'll put you in the source wall so you can watch it and fall in love with it, because that's a great plan. So instead she comes to resent it. And Lex Luthor is her stupid herald. You don't get me started on Scott Snyder's.
Which version of Luthor are we dealing with here?
This is the stupid Apex Lex bullshit. Jesus. Now,
You're echoing every problem I have had with DC Comics in the past 10 years.
And so, yeah. And Wally's like, and then when you guys walked into that door at the end of Snyder's Justice League, you had a big old fight with the Dark Knights. And I guess they won, but we're not going to show you that. You. Sorry. Oh, we're swearing a lot. I'm swearing a lot.
You're on 2 F-bombs just in the first 10 minutes of our show.
We might have to just make this a Patreon special clip of me ranting about Dark Knight's death metal, because good Lord. And I keep seeing all this praise for it. Like, it's not just dumb, shallow nonsense that's just it's the comic equivalent of jingling keys in front of your cat.
Yes.
It's just pretty shiny, stupid things. And here's the thing. Despite being called metal, it's not very metal. It's just poser. Like, look at Wonder Woman Dead Earth. That's metal as hell. Like, that book rules. It is one of the best things DC is putting out. And it doesn't have to, show up
with the post-apocalyptic one?
It doesn't have to show up in, a store-bought Target fake leather jacket with shiny spikes you just bought at Hot Topic trying to impress you. No, that book just jumps in the pit and starts wailing on dudes.
Oh, God, this is This has been a refreshing moment.
So, and I didn't even get to the real kicker.
Get to the kicker.
That made me really mad. Because all this stuff, I was like, well, this is stupid, but it's not like offensive. The last page is the Dark Knights are like, oh no, we have to summon the final Bruce Wayne. And so Batmage, I felt
all my muscles in my face.
Oh, just you wait.
Just relax.
Just you wait. So you know how all these stupid Batmans are combos of Batman with another character? Because the only thing DC knows how to promote their characters is to slap Batman in it.
That's what I'm hearing.
So Batmage hits a button with a frowny face on it, and it's a Dr. Manhattan Bruce Wayne. And I was just like, I can't.
This is when we give up.
I'm so done.
We need to put this page up. This right here is when we, as a collective show, gave up on the DC narrative.
I just lost my mind.
It was great. I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
Like Doomsday Clock, when it was over, I was like, well, at least we all realized that crossing over the DC universe with Watchmen was a stupid idea.
And that's why we invested so much in it.
Yeah. 2.5 years at $5 an issue for 12 issues.
And then when we were done, we took Dr. Manhattan, applied it to the one guy you guys have been screaming for 2 decades to come back proper.
So now I feel gross whenever I read Wally in something. Great.
And it's going to be like that until he gets rid of that damn mark.
Hopefully it'll happen in this event. In the pages of Speed Metal, the spinoff where it's Wally and the Flash family running around the world trying to escape the Batman.
And we
who
talked
laughs.
about that. We talked about how our hopes were that this is going to be bringing Wally back to the norm.
Yeah.
And while I told you, I was like, you know what? I'm even okay with him staying blue because that's cool. That makes him stand out. Now, granted, the two-tone red outfit was okay. But I really want Wally to stand out and have his own color palette.
Yeah, man. I just want the main DC meta arc to be good.
It breaks my heart when comics let Gideon Gonzalez down.
No, I'm pretty open minded when it comes to most books. You know, I'm not
we see the Jimmy Olsen book on the.
Hey, don't knock Jimmy Olsen. That f***ing rules. But like.
That's your third F-bomb in 10 minutes.
I'm too worked up. This book, it's just upsetting. It's upsetting to see them. Alan Moore once accused Jeff Johns and DC Comics of rooting through his garbage for ideas. God. And I was like, that's pretty harsh, Alan. But now I'm like, well,
at the time, harsh.
In hindsight, I'm like, yeah, that's what they're doing.
It's
and
true.
Not just to Moore, but to Morrison too. Like, Dark Knight's Metal was just built on ripping off in my opinion, horrific. Like, I hate to be overdramatic and say ruining forever, but basically taking this finally well-structured DC multiverse that he did in Multiversity and being like, nah, screw that. There's a dark multiverse.
It seems like that right when Rebirth was getting everything back on track, they had 2 different projects that were already happening before Rebirth started. And they continued through Rebirth. And now that's happening now. And that's, oh God. The storyline where they forced it saying, oh, by the way, this didn't happen with this. What was it? The not the Multiplicity. That's a movie with
I don't think that
with our guy from the news.
That doesn't sound like Multiversity.
But
that's not the plot of Multiversity.
Multiversity was happening, and then we had Rebirth happening, and then they said, oh no, by the way, those are separate.
No, Multiversity was. It might have been wrapping up by the time Rebirth launched, but they never said that it wasn't canon. Like Multiversity
they said
was
they don't gel together. That basically their storyline wasn't the same as this storyline. This is something that we even talked about last year when we first started the show.
I don't think so. Like that doesn't sound like what Multiversity was about at all. Because Multiversity doesn't affect the main DC universe. Like no characters from the main DC universe show up in Multiversity, so there's nothing really for it to contradict.
So is it Death Metal that's coming in and saying, oh, by the way, this event happened, but at the same time we got Rebirth happening, and that doesn't work out with what we just made? Oh no, I know what the whole confusion's from. It's from Doomsday Clock. Yeah, Doomsday Clock. Oh man, that's what I get. Multiversity and Doomsday Clock, because this is how many reboots we've got going on in an extreme short amount of time.
It's
And that's what Doomsday Clock felt like.
Yeah, Doomsday Clock was supposed to be that, and then it got delayed so heavily and having to be reworked constantly that they just said, well, screw that. And then I thought, oh, thank God, we're free from it.
Multiversity, Doomsday Clock,
well, Multiversity wasn't a
Metal.
reboot, though. Like, that was just exploring the DC multiverse.
But it was exploring it in a way that didn't exist when it came out.
I mean, not really.
It was explaining a lot of things.
Yeah, it was filling out the DC multiverse.
That we didn't think happened because New 52, we felt that wiped the slate clean.
I mean, not really, though, because it's still going from the New 50, like the Earth 2 from the New 52 exists in Multiversity.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like, it doesn't really contradict anything.
When New 52 came about, we weren't aware of other continuities. We just figured, okay, this is it.
Earth 2 was a New 52 launch title.
Yeah, but that was it.
Yeah.
Work with me, man. I'm getting filmed with this argument. You know this, right?
I know this. I just don't understand what your argument is.
What I'm trying to argue is the fact that we've got two or three different writers. No one's on the same page.
Oh, yeah. That's
because DC editorial doesn't exist.
Yeah. And if they do, it's just in very factional camps where there's just not a lot of communication happening.
No.
And there is it's frustrating. And you know what? I think this is a good point for us to move on. So the next up on our list is Jimmy Olsen number 11 by Matt Fraction, Steve Lieber, a favorite of the show, which so things finally come to a head in this issue. Jimmy,
I'm hearing this is now a 12-issue miniseries.
It's been a 12-issue miniseries from the get-go. Yeah.
Okay.
It was announced that it and Lois were announced as 12-issue maxis.
Okay.
So Jimmy gets all of his ducks in a row. He gets an alien army to back him up to fight the other alien army that's here, trying to capture his soon-to-be annulled ex-wife. It's very fun. Read Jimmy Olsen. It's great. He got married to an intergalactic jewel thief in Gorilla City.
That's right. You did tell me that.
Yes.
I did that.
So
I read that.
They're making their last stand, and in a moment more hype than Avengers Endgame for me, all the characters that have interacted with Jimmy throughout the series show up to help him, including my boy Enemy Ape.
Enemy Ape?
Yes.
Is this a play on Enemy Ace?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
So do you remember in the Gorilla City issue where there's a quick shot of Jimmy as a giant Jimmy King Kong on some Gorilla City and he's swiping at biplanes? One of the planes is Enemy Ape.
Oh my God.
And
is there a haunted tank version?
Oh, I hope so. But and also great, Metamorpho showing up to be Jimmy Olsen's power armor. And you know I love Metamorpho.
I don't know what it is with you with the weirdest damn character.
Metamorpho.
I honestly think that there is like an alternate universe Doom Patrol lineup with all of your favorite characters in it.
Oh, I mean, there should be. Doom Patrol already has so many of my favorite characters. Which, by the way, Doom Patrol Season 2, now streaming on DC Universe and HBO Max. Go watch it.
No, we totally didn't get reimbursed for that.
Yeah,
okay.
we should. Give me that sweet, sweat Brendan Fraser money.
Brendan Fraser needs all the work he can get.
Hey, we saved Brendan. We did it. But anyways, good old Jim Cheree Olsen.
Superman's pal.
Indeed. The mystery of who tried to kill Jimmy Olsen, it's been revealed last issue.
Who was that?
Julian Olsen, his brother.
Oh.
In an attempt to wrest control of the Olsen family trust because Jimmy hasn't touched his money. He just goes on cool adventures with Superman.
Is Julian got an orange goatee?
No, he does not.
That would have been so
He looks like Jimmy, but with like slicked back hair and slightly taller.
Oh.
And
they went with the Howard Stark version.
And in a nice way.
Morgan Stark. In
a nice way that will wrap up the story in a timely manner because they got one issue left. Superman finds out about the plot to kill Jimmy and shows up.
Well, he's Superman's pal.
Exactly. And so Superman's going to fix everything in the final issue, hopefully. And I'm very excited to see.
That's the way it has to be. Did he summon him with his watch?
No, actually. One of the cops that's on the take from Julian Olsen steps outside to make a phone call and mentions the plot to kill Jimmy, and Superman swoops down and picks him up and is like, "You said what?
You said my boy Jimmy's in trouble."
So yeah, Jimmy and Lois have both been excellent series. Jimmy's just it's a bit easier to talk about because it's not a densely plotted Greg Rucka book. It is a densely plotted, but with lots of great gags, Matt Fraction, Steve Lieber joint.
Such a strange mix.
Such a great story.
So, yeah, now time for some Suicide Squad.
Exactly. In Gotham City, where no one wants to go.
No one wants to go because your city sucks.
So we open in an operating room of a less than reputable doctor with a dead ? Dog in the operating theater.
Could be alive, could be dead.
Not better.
Not better.
And no anesthetic.
No.
But the squad has all their bombs removed. So
yes,
the revolutionaries are on their quest to get revenge against Ted Kord, which was one of the most shocking things I've read in the comics.
It was a shocking thing. And it turns out that now our boys have a collective bounty of dead $25 million.
Which we saw a little bit in the Flash Annual last week, which was one of the best Captain Boomerang stories I've ever read.
I love
Very
Captain
fun
Boomerang.
story. But here, as Harley mentions, normally when I go to Gotham and things are all quiet, things don't end well.
Yeah.
And so Batman does his Batman thing and kind of clowns on the revolutionaries until Deadshot calls a truce by holding up the dog.
Got a dog.
The guy with a dog.
That was a great fight, though. I really enjoyed that fight until it was clear that Deadshot was about to get his clock cleaned.
Yeah.
And that dog came out of nowhere.
One thing that I don't think we've really talked enough about, and because we've covered pretty much every issue of the Suicide Squad run because it's been that damn good.
It has been.
But I love how tired Deadshot is in it. Like, he is a guy who has been through the ringer. He just wants to go home.
He hasn't even cut his hair.
Yeah, he's just done. And I really like that take on the character. It's much better than like shiny generic action hero they've done for the last decade or so for Deadshot.
Yeah, and then Batman threatens him. I was like, if you do this, you got to think about your daughter. And I was like, seriously? You want to talk about endangering children? Let's talk about all those Robins you've got.
It reminded me of one of my favorite Wally West quotes when he was having his kids as a sidekick and Batman is like, endangering children. And Wally goes, I'm getting lectured on child endangered by the man who went through 5 Robins. One of my all-time favorite Wally lines.
This all the time. Batman is so problematic when it comes to kids.
Old Brucey.
Man.
And the story ends with Deadshot, with Batman noticing my Batmobile's missing because
he hasn't disappeared.
The resident teleporter driving off with the Batmobile. And Deadshot offering to call Batman an Uber.
I thought it was funny is the fact that they have this interaction. They talk. And then Deadshot turns away and he looks back. Batman's still there. I'm like, why haven't you Batmaned? Car's gone. Oh, yeah.
Want me to call you an Uber?
Are you okay?
Then Batman retorts with, want me to call you an ambulance?
Yeah.
Good talk.
I enjoyed Deadshot the most in this. Deadshot in this, it felt more like Gail Simone Deadshot.
Yeah, this is the most I've enjoyed him since Secret Six.
Yeah.
Which, high praise. Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo have been doing great work on this book. I'm so attached to all the revolutionaries already. I don't want any of them to die.
Yeah, I
lost my boy Jog.
I lost my boy Jog. I was right there with you.
This is the Jog fan base.
It is. I got emotionally invested in Jog. I'm like, damn it.
We didn't even get to see him fight the Flash.
No.
He didn't get to be in that annual.
No.
One tier.
Damn it. He'll come back somehow, I think. Someone will pull a Darth Maul, but like, oh no, his head exploded. No.
Yeah, he ain't walking that one.
He ain't come back from that one.
He ain't jogging that one off.
He ain't got to leader his way out of that one. Okay, so Leader sucks.
Leader rules. Counterpoint. Leader rocks.
I don't like Leader.
He's the best Hulk villain. And Hulk got some good villains.
Okay, now I should probably say this, that I am actively trying to bait you.
I know this.
I don't like Hulk stories have always been kind of boring to me. Just like Thor stories are boring. It's true. Now, I'm saying Hulk stories, not Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk has been some great Cronenberg nightmares that have been brought to light. But in the past, if Dale Keown isn't drawing it or Gary Frank isn't drawing it, Hulk has been a slumberfest.
Hulk's had a rough decade. I will give you that. I think since Pac left, it's been a pretty bumpy road.
Yeah.
But man,
I was on board for Incredible Hercules. The best that whole title has ever been.
Incredible Hercules is so good.
So damn good. I'm angry it doesn't exist anymore.
I know. I miss Herc. He's my boy. But actually, he's in Guardians. Oh, I can't wait till we get a new issue of Guardians. I don't know when it's coming back, but
he's in that.
Yeah, we've been reading Guardians on the show, man.
Have we?
Yes. Because they're fighting like the Olympians of reincarnation. I know. Well, forget it. I
know I'm being here.
We'll talk about Guardians when we get to it. I'll get on another tangent. Immortal Hulk. So this issue is walking through the entire history of the leader, dating back to his first appearance in Tales to Astonish, going up through his many deaths over the years, and
his red leader, his butthead moment.
Yeah, but most importantly, it gives such a new facet to the times he's been depowered, because he's been depowered multiple times. Immortal Hulk's take on it, though, from Al Ewing and Butch Guice stepping in for art duties this issue, is every time Samuel Stearns has been depowered, Sam Stearns has had to become smarter to recreate the incident that gave him his powers. Because Sam Stearns, when he started off, was the failure brother of a physicist. He was a janitor who always felt really insecure about his intellect. And much like how the Hulk is a manifestation of Banner's repressed rage, the leader is a manifestation of Samuel Stearns' jealousy of his brother and wanting to be more intelligent.
Right.
So after having that taste of genius, Sam Stearns has to like clamber his way back up to becoming the leader again. The effect that has, though, is he's become smarter in that attempt. And the leader's exponentially smarter than Samuel Stearns.
So he's making smarter and smarter and smarter.
Every time he becomes the leader again, he is that much more smarter than he was even before. And eventually we get to the point after 4 or 5 of hit repowerings that Sam Stearns is a genius in his own right before he becomes the leader. And I thought that was such a cool take on the character.
I really thought that they were going to explain Red Leader, and they didn't really do that.
Yeah, because Red Leader sucks. So it's just like a 1-panel bit of him being like, yeah, and that's me. Bet you're wondering how I got in this situation. Record scratch.
Well, I mean, I read Thunderbolts. I didn't read that particular Thunderbolts end, so I have no idea how it wrapped up. But
not very well.
From what I understood, Punisher was pretty much just wiping the floor with them piece by piece.
It wasn't good.
He put Deadpool's head in like a refrigerator or something like that. And it was all pretty much Red Leader. Red Leader was betraying the team any chance he got.
I really liked how even like the betrayals and stuff, he's like, yeah, I figured Ross would betray me, but I got a plan.
And if you're going to handle with Mephisto, you're going to deal with betrayal.
Yes. And also, more importantly, is it dives into the multiple times he's died. And I was very thankful that I had pretty recently done a pretty massive Hulk reading through Tales to Astonish, the Peter David run, and the Paul Jenkins run. So I got to see all of these deaths. And the new context for those was, as we've seen in Immortal Hulk, there is a special hell for Hulks. With the green door. And so the leader has become obsessed with it. And that's been fueling, because even in Peter David's stuff in the 90s, there was all of that society he built with that guy who can cheat death. And we saw that happen with Marlowe and Rick Jones. And that's one of the things Immortal Hulk does best, is Al Ewing is so good at taking these old bits of continuity and making it feel like one part of a massive story. And that's that is the good kind of continuity work.
Well, it all made it sound like that leader had an ability to reconstitute himself.
Yes. Like, he was, even beyond death, he's able to scheme his way back.
Yeah, like pull a Jason Voorhees.
And it ends with him in his current form entering through the green door to pick up Dr. Brian Banner. And
yeah, there was a moment in there where he was basically completely vulnerable, and he yelled out to Banner. And then Banner goes, now's not a good time. And it's like, just that one moment, that's all it took for a leader to go, well, to hell with him.
I just love that final page of him reaching out to Brian, and with that little bit of, I have faith. Like he has something to believe, and it is that he can go beyond the green door. And this is shaping up to be the greatest leader story of all time. And I don't feel like that's hyperbole. I think Al Ewing, I think Butch Guice, I think, oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking on the regular artist for Immortal, Joe Bennett. They've got something really special in store for us.
Well, I mean, this book is coming to an apex.
We are. It it confirmed that the book is ending at issue 50 and we were at 34. Yeah. So the end is in sight. We've got maybe like a year and a half left in the tank.
This actually segues into Avengers Empyre.
Yes, another Al Ewing book. Not my favorite Al Ewing book this week.
But it features a different Hulk.
It does. It's got a little bit of little Jennifer Walters. And I do like her current big old Hulk mode she's got in the Avengers title.
And she's a little dumb.
She is a little dumb, but she also real big. I'm all about big old Jen Walters. That
I
shit
don't know.
rules.
I like She-Hulk. I like smart She-Hulk. I like smart lawyer She-Hulk. Which is what I hope that Alison Brie will do in the Disney Plus show.
And I'm fairly certain you're going to get that because we've got 40 years of traditional She-Hulk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like this take. I really like that Mariko Tamaki book when she was the Gray She-Hulk. I thought that book was great. Criminally underread. And I like Jason Aaron. I think that the over-explaining issue of why she's big was a little silly in Avengers, but I enjoy it. And also, they announced recently that we are getting an Immortal She-Hulk one-shot from Al Ewing. And oh boy, I'm excited to see how that ties in.
Because kind of crazy nonsense is
one of the things I was going to say is I like that having a big old traditional Hulk on the team frees up Al Ewing to do whatever the hell he wants in Immortal Hulk with the main Hulk.
Yeah, I guess that's what's going on there. When did she stop being the focus of a Hulk book? Was that right when Immortal Hulk started?
It was a little bit before, because I think Totally Awesome Hulk was going.
Right.
And Jen had Adjectiveless Hulk.
Right.
And then when they did Marvel Legacy, Adjectiveless, and man, don't even get me started on Marvel's Legacy numbers and how nonsensical they are with counting what titles under what for numbers. But Adjectiveless Hulk becomes She-Hulk. Totally Awesome Hulk becomes Incredible Hulk. Those respective titles are folded into those respective numbers. But Totally Awesome Hulk is a different name than Incredible Hulk and shouldn't count towards its numbers. Adjectiveless Hulk is a series that existed and has its own legacy numbering outside of She-Hulk.
Could be like Amazing Hulk.
Oh my God. It just drove me bananas when they did that. Like, you've ruined the numbers. Or counting Superior Spider-Man as Amazing Spider-Man's numbering. And I've heard justifications for that as like, well, it was the Spider-Man book at the time. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not counting Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man as part of Amazing. I'm not counting Amazing Scarlet Spider as part of Amazing's numberings.
Yeah, didn't they take that title, the Objectiveless Spider-Man, turn it into Miles Morales?
They did for a minute, yeah. And I believe, actually, no, I think Miles kept his Ultimate numbering, I believe. They did not keep the Adjectiveless Spider-Man because...
Well, they've actually been using like simple numbering, like redone numbering, because they're now calling it Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he still has the little legacy numbering from Ultimate.
It's a throwback to what at the time was the second Spider-Man title, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
And the old school windows up in the left-hand corner of the book, where they would show the heroes or the squad or anything like that. And Peter Parker always had, it was a Spider-Man that had his mask off. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah. For Spectacular.
Yeah.
I always loved that. I don't know how they did it, but for a character as dynamic as Spider-Man, they're like, cornerbox Spidey, he's just be like practically T-posing. He's just solid.
Yeah, I've seen something that just had his mask, and then McFarlane did it, and then he was like all scrunched up and looking like the loss prevention guy at Ross. You know, just fist balled up, shoulders rolled forward, looking to pick a fight. I wish they would bring back the old character boxes. I love corner boxes. I think they're fun. I mean, we saw the corner boxes for New Mutants. Yeah, and Bill Sienkiewicz is going ham on those corner boxes. You know what always bugged me about those corner boxes is they would have Amara in it, but never Ileana. Ever. What kind of Ileana hatred is that? They know. They're like, she's in here. She doesn't She don't need the ink. Not enough. You're here for magic. We gotta win you over with the other kids. We gotta give you this shaggy headed blonde girl with this other blonde girl.
Yeah, it's like, we got to win you over on Randolph Scott over here.
Randolph Scott.
So let's actually talk about Empyre, though. So Empyre is Marvel's newest big mega event.
Yep.
And the gist is the Kree and the Skrull, they've quashed their beef under the leadership of half Kree, half Skrull hero Hulkling, who is the new emperor of both.
Hey, he's not Hulkling yet. He's king of space.
He's king of space.
They haven't said it's Hulkling
And
yet.
no, I mean, they've shown it in all the ads.
I know.
Like, we know who he is. But he's like, hey, let's be friends. And they're like, cool. So the Avengers, they respond to something going on in the blue spot of the moon where the Inhumans chill normally.
Right. Where we find out that this is where the grand experiment that the Skrulls were dealing with when they brought in the Kree and the Coatl?
I'm not sure. So a lot of the story is riffing on the Celestial Madonna stuff from the 70s. Classic Steve Englehart Avengers stuff. I haven't read it in a solid 15 years. And so I was like, I vaguely remember Swordsman becoming a weird plant person.
Yeah, I mean, they both became kind of plant people because Mantis went over with Guardians and she has green skin.
I never read Celestial Quest, so I didn't know who the hell that guy, what was his name? Quasp or something? The kid of the Celestial, of Mantis and Plant Swordsman.
I have no clue.
Yeah, never read Celestial Quest. Now I understand why they're doing a $1 reprint of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Avengers show up. They fight a Kree sentry that's spliced with some weird Skrull thing. And I got to say, I really miss seeing Pepe Larraz pencils. Guy killed it on House of X, and now he's back giving us more goodness.
Yeah, I was.
Dude is making a career out of drawing lush forests. First Krakoa, and now some space stuff.
Like, they definitely hired the right guy for this. Can you draw? Yeah, I can draw. But I'm really good at jungles. You're hired.
You like plants?
Yeah. I was really, really hoping that the cover artist for this was going to be the interior artist.
Jim Cheung.
Yes. Who did Young Avengers.
Yes, exactly. So I feel like that's a big pull of what got him to do covers is like, oh, my boy Hulkling's in this?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
And that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to get like another Children's Crusade.
Yeah. Jim Cheung doesn't really do interiors much anymore, though. Like,
he's far too good for that kind of stuff.
The last time he did Marvel 2-in-1 a few years back, but he only did like 4 issues of it.
Is he pulling an Art Adams on us?
You know, he did do a couple issues of Snyder's Justice League. But yeah, he's just once in a blue moon. He always delivers good work.
Yeah.
But I always sad when a great interior artist switches to just covers. But, you know, I can't blame him. The pay's too damn good at covers.
Yeah.
It's a fraction of the work. Like a fraction of a fraction of the work.
Fraction of our work.
Hey.
I would kill a small city full of little puppies for an Art Adams X-Men book.
Maybe, you know, I'm surprised he's not doing one of the giant size X-Men's.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, we got Alan Davis to do one. When was the last time you saw Alan Davis do a bunch of interiors?
Alan Davis did the Nightcrawler special.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The giant size Nightcrawler.
You're right. He should be the one that's drawing Excalibur. I would read it.
I'm not going to knock Marcus Toe and Mohamed Azhar. I love their art.
Yeah, but it's sleepy. The story is so sleepy.
Yeah. I love Teenie Howard a lot, and I enjoy character moments in it, but it definitely feels like it's spinning its wheels until X of Swords boots up.
Yeah, we did at the deal. I mean, Alan Davis being the great guy that he is, he did draw a year and a half of the Cross Time Caper. So some sins cannot be forgiven. I'm still angry about that, and it's been over 20 years.
Oh, Excalibur,
wasting your time on a 18-part storyline that no one cared about.
Warbles.
Speaking of multi-parts, this book, Empyre, this part 0 is one of 52 issues involved in a 2-month crossover.
And I bet you that's going to get trimmed considerably. I think a lot of those books are going to either go digital only or get completely written off.
Yeah, because a lot of them just really seem unnecessary.
Well, I'm very excited for Mark Waid's Squadron Supreme 2 issues. I'm very worried I'm not going to get them because I love the Squadron Supreme and I always pop when they show up.
I think you're right on that one.
I love Mark Waid.
My memory is kind of crapped on it. I'd have to look at my iPad to really tell you what kind of titles we're dealing with. But I mean, if like there's a Empyre Punisher, we can lose that.
But anyways, so the Avengers are they're on the moon, and the Celestial Madonna boy is like, Thor, my old friend. Yeah. Can you make it rain?
Hey.
And so Thor makes it rain, and all the Avengers are like, this is so nice. And then they're like, oh, what's that? It's a big old armada coming. And they're like, let's square up. Let's get ready to fight. And then it's pick up Empyre : Fantastic Four #0.
Yes. God help us. Anybody gets in our way. Fantastic Four.
Because this event is too big for just one issue 0. You get, since it's an Avengers Fantastic Four crossover,
2 issue 0s.
You get Avengers 0 and Fantastic Four 0 before you get Empyre #1.
Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at some of the crap that they've got going on here. Oh, and the funny thing is, this is the old stuff. Like it says April and June on it. So we got Fantastic Four. Hulkling's got his own thing,
which I'm actually excited for. I believe Chip Zdarsky's working on that.
The Union, which is that new British
team
one. Yeah. Captain America, Storm Ranger. What's Storm Ranger is about?
Storm Ranger is the character introduced in Miss Marvel's run.
Oh, okay.
He's
at least it's not Star. Villain. God, I can't believe Marvel actually tried to make a series about that. I hate Star. I don't know why they gave her a show or a series.
I'd say as like a show would be quite a bit.
It would be. There's Invasion of Wakanda. I guess you can't get around that.
And I do love Agents of Wakanda, and it is Jim Zub still writing that, so I'm going to pick that up if it actually comes out.
Okay, here we go. This is something we could lose. Empyre Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I don't really need to know.
No, we don't.
But there is a funny bit where all the Avengers are like, yeah, we remember Celestial Madonna, and Robbie's like, what the hell are these people talking about?
He's a complete passenger in this whole thing. He's not even lit up.
I really enjoyed Robbie's role in this Avengers run of being the guy who goes, what are you guys talking about?
Swordsman's got his own one shot in this.
Yeah.
Strike Force 10. Strike Force is still an issue thing. You'd think I would know more about that. You know, Spider-Woman being in it. But it's just been such a lackluster title.
Monica's there.
It's still sleepy.
My boy, Damian Hellstorm. I need to go back.
Even the font that they use for Strike Force makes me feel like, okay, this is one of those 5-issue limited series. Is just going to go away?
I haven't read any of it. I really want to, though, because I like a lot of characters in there. And most of it should probably be on Marvel Unlimited by now, so I can jump on there.
There's an Immortal Hulk Empyre crossover. There's a 3-part Thor one. There's a 3 issues of Union are in this. There's an epilogue. And Empyre itself runs 5 issues.
So,
and X-Men. Not only is there an Empyre X-Men, but X-Men itself is also part of this.
I remember seeing that and being like,
"That's excessive."
Yeah, I was like, Hickman's probably got a plan for this, but don't mess with a good thing. Don't make that book cross over when it shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't. A lot of this just seems really superfluous. I can't be expected to read all of this.
Hey, it's an event comic.
And I get that. I get it's an event comic. And it has the unfortunate thing of being a 52-issue event comic sent out during a time when no one is picking up comics at comic book stores.
I do appreciate.
We've both done that this episode.
I do appreciate that at the very least, a lot of the tie-ins, you can tell when creators were like, yeah, I'm not tying into this, that they got their own minis.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not going to get Ta-Nehisi Coates to tie in his Captain America run to this. You're not going to get Donny Cates to tie his Thor run into it. So we get a little spin-off.
Are you trying to say that the Beyonder is not going to show up in the middle of a storyline?
Spider-Man is not going to teach the Beyonder how to poop this time.
Yeah. I heard the Beyonder get brought up as
yes, in our next issue, Thor #5 by Donny Cates and Nick Klein, the little book that we had so much doubt for, and I apologize, Nick Klein, for clowning on that costume. It makes sense in context.
It was great.
And it's dope as hell, and I love it now.
And of course, although the end of this book, I gotta say, Nega Thor.
Oh, I'm not Thor at all. I'm the reverse.
I expected this to be a joke, Nega Thor versus the world.
So,
and Ramona Flowers is like a support character.
The premise of this issue is the Black Winter has come. The force that destroyed the prior universe, good old Galen's home universe, is here. He's got beef. He's going to eat this universe unless Galactus and his new herald Thor just give him his lunch. So Thor,
poor Galactus.
the most of this issue is Thor doing a boss rush of Journey into Mystery today, where he's fighting Loki and he's fighting Gore the God Butcher and he's fighting my boy the Man Gog, the souls of a billion worlds.
Or Beyonder and all of his Secret Wars 2 glory.
The Jerry curls are back.
Oh my god, man! That white pantsuit of his.
Every time the Beyonder shows up, I just hear "Shooting Star" by Earth, Wind, and Fire playing.
You're Shooting Star.
His little
who you are.
His like white leisure suit, his Jerry curls.
Oh my god, freaking Beyonder!
And that song, and like that would have been dated when he first debuted. You know,
yes,
like
Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was the Shooting Star was like 78, if I'm not mistaken.
And Secret Wars is what 84, 85.
Yeah, about that.
So he's trotting up disco era, baby.
God, that outfit
never
was
let it be said that Jim Shooter couldn't pull a fad back a little too late.
Jim Shooter was definitely looking for the fat greenbacks on that one. While we're talking about that, but God,
the boss rush is a lot of fun. Donny Cates does the dramatic inner monologue for Thor very well, and the big end reveal of this is you get Negathor, the reverse Thor.
Yep,
and more importantly than that, though, you get the reveal
that Galactus
is the herald of the Black Winter.
Oh.
And it's just like, oh my God, that's why he spared
This
him.
is the Marvel version of this isn't even my final form.
He was the harbinger of a bigger guy. And
no way. There's another boss?
This is the bigger Galactus. Galactus 2.
Yeah, because Galactus was definitely getting clowned in this one.
Yeah.
Negathor was definitely had his number.
And I'm excited to see where this goes. I've been having a lot of fun.
It did say there's a conclusion in the next issue.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Donny Cates is on this book for a bit longer. Although, you know, I've had this discussion with my coworkers at work. I don't know if we've ever talked about it. But Donny Cates kind of has a tendency to just drop in for 12 issues on a title and bounce. But but Venom, he hasn't. He's stayed on Venom for the long haul, for better or for worse. For better for the majority, because a lot of people like that book. We're not big fans of it.
No.
But he's talked very passionately about Thor, and you can see that passion shine through in the title. And I think he'll be on this for a bit longer. I hope so. Knock on wood.
Oh, man.
So yeah, a really good bunch of titles this week. Not every week that we have to split its own one title into its own episode, but
yeah,
hey, there you go, 100-page giant, baby.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be its own little creature. That just about wraps it up here for Hazardous Materials. Like and subscribe, hit that bell, let us know, or let you know when you want to find out we're actually airing episodes, which usually is about every Tuesday. You can check out our Patreon. Got social media links below, including the one for my own personal page. Drop us a line. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you next time.